Hi, my name is Emily, and I would like to make a presentation on the novel Midnight's Children. It is written in 1981 by Salman Rushdie. In this presentation, I would like to start out with a brief summary of the text, moving on to my analytical points, continuing with a comparison with another text, and at the end, I will sum up my main points. The story centers around India, and the main character of the text is Salim Sinai. India was a colony ruled by the British Empire, and then on August 15, 1947, India gained independence, and at the same time, the narrator Salim Sinai was born. The story deals with historical aspects such as India's independence, as seen from Salim's point of view, and it also deals with the consequences of partition and the partition in the country. Moving on to my analysis of the story. The story is told by the protagonist and narrator Salim Sinai and takes place in the city of Bombay. The narrator is a first-person narrator, which can be seen on page 37, line 2 to 3, where it says, "I was born in Dr. Nalikar's nursing home on August 15, 1947. Here the story uses I, which indicates that it is seen from a first-person perspective. And in extension to this quote, we hear about the time Salim Sinai was born, and he was born at the exact same moment as India's independence. And Salim can be connected to the history of India because he was born at the time India became an independent country. And it is likely that the narrator of the story is not a reliable narrator because the story is told from his point of view, and he has his own personal experiences that are going in different directions, and they are based on his own possibly flawed memory, so we can say that he is not reliable. And moreover, the story tells about how India and the main character are crumbling and falling apart, which is seen on page 38, line 35. Please believe that I'm falling apart. So we get the impression that Salim's body is falling apart physically, and it's a matter of time because he's crumbling into dust, so it's a matter of time before he dies. And he feels that time is running out for him, and therefore he must tell all the stories trapped inside of him to his future wife, Padma, before he dies, because he believes that his life has come to an end. Besides, it is clear to see that the narrator metaphorically connects his own body with India and how it is cracked and divided. Besides, it should also be mentioned that Salim claims his body is physically falling apart, which refers to how India itself is fragmented. Torn by partition, it is divided into two separate countries with the east and the west sections of Pakistan on either side of India. And the partition of India was a division of British India, which led to the creation of two independent dominions, India and Pakistan. And in connection to Salim, he compares himself with India, and he also compares himself with an old jug with cracks, which can be seen on page 38, line 38, where it says, "I have begun to crack all over like an old jug." So basically everything in India is falling apart, just like himself because of the partition. So if we talk about the genre of the novel is fiction that contains aspects of magical realism, which means that the story has a realistic view of the real world, but also includes some magical elements, which can be seen in this novel. And we can also compare the novel Midnight's Children by Salman Rushdie to Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. In both stories, British forces take over their communities, and in both communities the traditions have been erased and replaced because of the British colonization and the British influence in the countries. So to sum up my main points, Salman Rushdi's novel deals with India's independence and the partition of India. The main aspects, independency and partition, make the novel an example of post-colonial literature because of the way the narrator tells the story and also the change from this colony to an independent country. And it deals with the issue about India crumbles more and more and falls apart over time. And the reason for partition can be because of the multitude of differences between the population of India and also the large numbers of issues that have come along in Pakistan and India during this partition.